If you've ever scrolled through Ho Chi Minh City listings and thought, wow, that price can't be real, you're probably right to pause. Today we're getting practical and street smart. How to spot rental scams and stay safe while hunting for a home in this fast-moving market.
And the stakes are high. A bad decision can cost months of savings and a lot of stress. The good news is you're not powerless. There's a playbook for beating scams, and most of it boils down to patient verification, face-to-face checks, and disciplined payments.
Let's start at the top. If someone's just beginning their search, what's the very first step to avoid trouble?
Think like an investigator. Validate the listing and the person behind it. Check that the photos match reality. Reverse image search is your friend. Look up the phone number and email for complaints. If it's an agent, verify their company registration and read reviews from prior tenants. For landlords, ask for a copy of their ID and proof they own the unit. If they hesitate or get defensive, you've learned something important.
And the classic move, scammers often say, I'm abroad, can't meet, but you can send a deposit. What do you do with that?
You don't. Put simply, no in person, no money. Visiting the property is non-negotiable. When you're on site, talk to building management or the security desk. Ask if the person actually owns or is authorized to lease that unit. Real owners aren't allergic to daylight.
I like that line. Real owners aren't allergic to daylight. When you visit, what should you actually check beyond the vibe?
Check details that scammers gloss over. Match the unit number and floor with what's in the listing. Confirm the landlord's name with building management. Inspect locks, windows, and appliances. Photograph anything that's broken and put it in an inventory checklist. Ask neighbors casual questions. How long has this place been vacant? If the story you hear on site conflicts with the landlord's claims, that's a red flag.
Let's talk pricing. Ho Chi Minh City can be a patchwork. District 1 and Thu Duc City neighborhoods. District 7 for expat families. Binh Tang for convenience. You can find everything. How do you spot a price that's suspicious?
Start with comparables. If a listing is 30 to 40% below similar units in the same area, you need an explanation. Sometimes there's a legit reason. Construction noise, no window in the bedroom, short lease terms, or no elevator. If there's a discount, ask for the reason and make sure you can see and verify it during the visit. It's cheap because I'm kind is not a reason.
What about the today-only discount? The pressure tactics.
Scarcity is a scammer's favorite tool. They'll say, 3 people are ready to pay, wire me a deposit now. If someone pushes urgency before transparency, walk away. No credible landlord risks the relationship by bullying the tenant on day one.
Payments. This is where a lot of people get trapped. What's the safe way to move money?
Rule 1. Pay only after you've visited, verified paperwork, and signed a clear contract. Use traceable methods like bank transfers and get an official receipt stating what the payment covers. Deposit, first month's rent, and the date keys are handed over. Avoid wire transfers to unknown accounts, cash handed over in lobbies, and anything crypto. For larger sums, escrow can be a smart buffer. Funds are released once agreed conditions are met.
Is there a normal deposit range in the city?
Typically 1 to 2 months' rent, depending on furniture and lease term. What you want is structure. Deposit in, keys handed over, and inventory agreed on the same day. If someone wants a big deposit to hold without a contract or refuses to provide a receipt, that's your cue to exit.
Let's dive into documentation. What should renters insist on seeing?
3 pillars. First, proof of ownership. An official ownership certificate that matches the unit's address and the landlord's ID. Second, if you're dealing with an agent or a relative, you need written authorization to lease the unit on the owner's behalf. Third, a clear rental agreement. The exact address and unit number, lease length, deposit amount and refund conditions, rent due date, what's included, internet, water, parking, and an inventory list with photos. Add a clause about notice periods and early termination fees. Ambiguity favors the scammer.
What's your stance on bilingual contracts for expats?
If you don't read Vietnamese, get a bilingual contract or a trustworthy translator. Don't rely on verbal explanations. What's on paper is your regulator when things go sideways. And watch out for, "we'll sign later, but pay now." The contract is the seatbelt. You buckle up before you drive.
Let's catalogue scammer behaviours, the tells that should ring alarms, even if the price seems fine.
Classic tells. The landlord refuses to meet in person or show the unit. They can't produce ownership papers. Stories change from message to message. They push for immediate deposits. They offer the same unit across multiple listings with slightly different addresses. And they only communicate via anonymous accounts. Also, look for photo inconsistencies, different furniture in the living room pictures, or windows that don't match the building's style.
Any relocator tips specific to Ho Chi Minh City? Something local that listeners should know?
2 practical ones. First, building management is your verification ally. Introduce yourself, ask questions, and watch their reaction when you mention the landlord's name. Second, check utility meters and billing status before signing. If past bills are unpaid, you might inherit headaches. Bonus tip: meet at the property, not in a cafe across town. Proximity equals accountability.
I want to touch privacy. People send passports and visas over chat all the time. What's safe here?
Send only what's necessary after you've verified legitimacy. If someone asks for full ID documents before you've seen the property or papers, push back. When you do share, use a watermark and limit the fields. Cover sensitive numbers. Also, be careful with links. Scammers spoof property platforms to harvest data. Keep conversations on the platform until you're confident about the person's identity.
Suppose someone has already lost money. What should they do immediately?
3 steps. First, gather evidence. Screenshots, chat logs, payment receipts, any names or phone numbers. Second, report to local authorities. Start with the nearest ward police office and consumer protection channels. And alert your bank's fraud department to flag the recipient account. Third, inform the building management and the property websites hosting the listing. Your report can help shut down the scam and protect others. And don't feel embarrassed. Scammers rely on silence.
I appreciate that. Shame keeps a lot of people from speaking up. On the flip side, let's paint the picture of a clean deal. What does a genuinely safe rental process look like?
It feels boring, in a good way. You see the place, paperwork is complete and consistent, the landlord answers questions calmly, payment steps are clear and documented, keys and inventory exchange happen together, and communication is traceable. It's like boarding a plane. Check-in, security, gate, seatbelt. No one is running down the tarmac waving cash.
Let's throw in a real-world story. I heard about a listener who found a sleek studio in District 1. Priced lower than some rooms in District 7. Photos looked like a magazine. What broke the illusion?
3 things. The listing had a too-perfect angle. Every photo looked like a developer brochure. On the visit request, the landlord said they were overseas and wanted a deposit to hold before the viewing. And the unit number didn't appear in building management's records. It was a ghost listing. The deal collapsed the moment sunlight hit it.
Love that image. Ghost listing evaporates under sunlight. For listeners nervous about making a mistake, can we build a checklist they can follow?
Absolutely. Think of it as a 5-step defense. Step 1. Research the listing and the person. Reverse image search. Check phone/email history. Read reviews. Step 2. Visit the property with a friend. Talk to building management. Confirm unit details and landlord identity. Step 3. Demand documentation, ownership certificate, ID, and authorization if someone's acting on behalf. Step 4. Sign a clear contract with inventory photos and refund terms. Insist on bilingual if needed. Step 5. Pay traceably after signatures, with receipts. Never transfer under pressure or before verification.
I'd add a 6th. Benchmark rent in that neighbourhood. If it's shockingly low, the story needs proof you can see, hear, and touch. Like construction next door that you can literally stand beside.
Exactly. The goal isn't to avoid good deals, it's to avoid magic deals. Real discounts have real reasons.
Are there any subtler traps you've seen? Something beyond the obvious pay now message?
The bait and switch. You're shown a great unit, but on contract day they say it's suddenly unavailable and offer a worse one at the same price. Or the lease includes surprise add-ons, maintenance fees, or service charges that double your monthly bill. Protect yourself by writing every cost into the contract and walking away at the first sign of reshuffling.
And the "we'll fix it after you move in." How do you handle repairs?
Put repairs in the contract with timelines. Take photos during the walkthrough, attach them to the inventory, and specify who pays for what. If it's not in writing, it's probably not happening.
What about students or short-term renters? Are they more vulnerable?
They can be. Short leases tempt people to skip due diligence. Don't. Even for 3 months, the same rules apply. Visit, verify, contract, traceable payment. If someone says, "We don't do contracts for short stays," that's your signal to do exactly that or walk.
Let's talk tone. If a negotiation starts to feel off, pressure, inconsistencies, how should listeners exit without escalating?
Keep it simple. I only pay after viewing and paperwork. If that doesn't work, I'll pass. Scammers thrive on emotional responses. Don't argue, don't defend. Just set the boundary and leave.
I want to highlight something you said earlier. Boring is good. Safety is the opposite of drama. If your rental hunt feels like a thriller, you're probably in the wrong story.
Perfectly put. A calm process with clear documents is a green flag. Urgency, secrecy, and sudden changes are red flags.
Before we wrap, any final advice for newcomers to Ho Chi Minh City who might be overwhelmed by the pace?
Find context fast. Ask colleagues or friends for landlord recommendations. Visit at different times of day to check noise and traffic. Confirm internet speed if you work remotely. And remember, you can negotiate respectfully, but don't negotiate away your safety. No shortcuts on verification.
All right, time to land this plane. Today we covered the essentials. Verify the listing and the person behind it. Visit in person and talk to building management. Benchmark the price against the neighborhood. Lock down documentation with a clear contract. Pay traceably with receipts and report scams to protect yourself and others. That's your armor.
And it's an armor you can actually wear. No special gear required, just curiosity, patience, and a refusal to pay before the facts line up. Keep your emotions steady and let the process do the work.
Here's a thought to take with you. The best rental deal is the one that still looks good after you've asked 10 annoying questions. Real landlords appreciate thorough tenants. Scammers vanish when you get specific.
If you find a suspicious listing, shine a light. Ask for documents, request a viewing, and share what you learn with the community. Vigilance isn't paranoia, it's how you build a safer market.
Thanks for listening. Stay sharp, trust your instincts, and enjoy the search. Ho Chi Minh City has incredible homes. Make sure yours starts with confidence, not a gamble.
Safe hunting, everyone. Your next front door should open with a key and a clear contract, not a leap of faith.